This is Athena. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't said that in a really long time, but I am back and I wanted to make today's video because I feel like I haven't had a chance to really sit down and kind of have just like a chit chat on my channel in a really long time, and I feel like my channel is really due for one. So today's video is going to be about believing in yourself even when you don't believe it yourself. This video is about, pushing through and still doing all the things that you need to do in order to get to your best self as a person and as a human being, regardless of the adversity that you're going through and the struggles that you're going through. Something that I've really struggled with is finding that motivation to keep pushing forward, especially when you feel like life hasn't turned out the way that you want it to, or you're going through things that are really difficult and you feel like you can't find your way, or you feel like you're getting kind of like talked down to, pushed down by, people in your life or your situation. And for me specifically, graduating college in the fall with a bachelor's of fine arts in new media and design. And basically, I started out college as a communications major because I felt like, you couldn't A, make a career in the arts, B, I didn't know how you could be successful as an artist, and C, like, that's just what everybody said. I basically said the same thing 3 times, but you get the point. It was really, nailed into my head that, like, it's not a real job, you can't make a living out of it, and you have to do something that's practical. And so I started my journey in school doing communications in, the general education classes and kind of declaring that as my major. Well, anyways, long story short, I realized, like, as much as communications is great and I'm passionate about it and I believe in it, it's not my dream, and it's not my dream career in the slightest. It has nothing really to do with what I want for my life. And so then I embarked on going to art school when I moved to North Carolina. It has not been easy in the slightest bit. Going into art school, I thought that things would be a lot more open-minded than they are. And, now that I'm a senior in the program and I'm a transfer student and things have kind of been really, different for me, I feel like I'm establishing a little bit more of my voice. And one of the things that I think is really important about believing in yourself and seeing positive changes is sticking it out and sticking around. I feel like when you are able to stick something out and go through all the bad things and all the difficult things and still show up for yourself and still keep pushing forward, and you show other people that you're still here, this is serious to you, this is your passion, this is your dream, and you don't waver in your authenticity as a person, then other people start to take you more seriously. Should it have to be that way? Absolutely not. But I've just found that for me, that's been the case, that I feel like I have to work twice as hard to keep my authenticity and my own narrative and my dreams and my ideas, that I have myself in my work while still meeting criteria, while still pursuing. And maybe it makes things harder, or maybe it makes people not understand, or, maybe you feel ostracized, but the important thing is that you just keep going. The thing is like, I can come on camera and I can be in full glam and have my hair and makeup done and have the studio lights and be like, believe in yourself, it's the best thing you can do, and it's, so rewarding, and it's so all of these things. But the thing is that the thing that people don't tell you about believing in yourself is that it's scary and it's hard, and there are so many days where I feel like I just want to give up, and I cry and I cry and I cry. I can't even tell you guys how much I cry and how miserable I am half the time. And it's not because I'm not doing the things that are important to me and that I love. It's just that, you know, when you are on a path to be where you want to be and be who you want to be and get to that point in life that you so desperately desire and dream of, 90% of the time, you're going to be in situations that you don't want to be in, where people don't talk to you nicely, you're in crappy jobs, courses that you feel like are entirely different than anything that you are passionate about, or struggle through, like math or geography or, things like that. Again, minimum wage jobs where you feel like the public can just talk to you like however they want, and you're just seen as like a cog in the machine, and you have these classes that run so late or so early, and you show up and you're doing all this work and it just feels like you just can't get a break or a breath in, and kind of like right now. For me on my channel, something that has always kind of like confuse me about people's success journeys is that most of the time success is seen as like a linear thing. I've watched so many of my peers and people that I, grew up with in school kind of have this track to success that I dreamed of. And like, they've already graduated. I'll be 25 in May and I'll just be getting my bachelor's. And these people are already onto their masters, or they're in careers, or they have houses and they're married. And, you see these people around you kind of living lives that you dream of. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way for everybody. And sometimes people have to work harder, or people have to work longer, or simply, and it doesn't mean that those people didn't work hard and do hard things, or simply the way that your life has been and has been designed will take you on a totally abstract path. It's not linear. It's not a trapezoid. It's something out of Picasso. It's squiggles and up and down and left and right, and it's a roller coaster. And I think the hardest thing is keeping your seatbelt on while you're on that roller coaster, because at a certain point it's like you forget and you get this amnesia about it where you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why is this so hard? I just want to get off the ride. I just want to get off the ride. And you just keep replaying it in your head over and over. And it doesn't help that so much of life is very monotonous. And, you wake up, drink coffee, do what you got to do, go to bed, wake up, drink coffee, and whatever it is, and it feels like life, again, is like this cog in the machine. Anyways, back to what I was saying is, like, I always see in people's success stories, like, we always hear about, like, the humble beginnings, and then we see the end where they're, like, accepting the award, and they're like, this award means so much to me, and you're like, wow, they're a success, they made it. What about the moments in between that? What about when you are just living your life and doing what you need to do as a person to get to where you want to be? What about documenting that and seeing that in people? You know what I mean? I feel like that is the part of the story, like, where people haven't made it yet and they're out there and they're saying, I'm fighting for this, I'm doing this, I believe in myself, this is so hard, I want to give up all the time, I feel really depressed, I feel like the world is against me, I feel the weight of the world, but I'm still going and I'm still pushing forward and I'm still believing in myself. This video can come off as like preachy or whatever, but really I'm saying it to myself because, like I said, I can sit in front of the camera and be in hair and makeup and be presenting myself in the way that I want the world to see me. If you could be in control of how the world saw you and how you could represent yourself, I think people would be a lot happier and we would feel a lot more comfortable. But believe me, this is not what I look like in my everyday life. It's one of those things where it's like we only have control of so little in our lives. And, I feel like without becoming like a nihilist where you're like, there's no control over everything, of course, everybody has free will and we have decisions and we have choices. But I also feel like life kind of not tells us, but it kind of pushes us down paths and things happen that are out of our control, and we're only human. And so we find ways to cope with things, or we're put in these situations and we're dealing with things. And it is just really hard to even be a human, period. Let alone stacking, chasing your dreams, bettering yourself, trying to be an authentic person. Sorry, I keep doing this because I want my hair to kind of jut out like the 90s supermodel hair. And you feel like you're chasing these things, and it's so hard to not only do what you need to do in a day, but to better yourself at the same time, whether it's physical, mental, monetary, job, passion, interpersonal, whatever it is. It makes things 10 times harder. And I kind of just want to make this video to document that process of like still believing in yourself, still pushing forward, and like I said, like, looks are so deceiving. I turn this camera on and it's bright and light in my room. Oh my God, look at the products, look at the mirror, look at her hair. Honey, this is 90% fake. This is a hairpiece. This is makeup, put on my face that's like a matte, like war paint. This is a push-up bra and a sports bra to lift everything up. This, you guys don't see the laundry and the mess behind me. And like, you have to remember, I think, and I'm sorry, I'm so tangential in all my videos, but like, you have to remember that like what you see isn't always the reality, and especially on social media, it's not. I come on, YouTube and social media and things like this and present myself in this way because this is me on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, this is Athena in her fullest form, in her truest form, is glam and hair and fun and pink and all of that. Um, but the thing is that like when this camera gets turned off and I take the hairpiece out and I take the makeup off and I have assignments due and I have to go to work, or I have to do something I don't want to do, or I have to be outside and people see me and I don't have time to, put myself together and I feel really uncomfortable and ugly and the dysphoria is terrible, or whatever. I'm trying to say is that when life gets ugly and you're in these situations that push you to your limits and you're fighting and you feel like you're fighting with a broken spirit, because that's how I feel. I feel like I am running on empty and my car is like, okay, Athena, we need to get gas in our system. We need to have something go right. We need to finally break through the surface and get to the air, and it just is like never happens, but the thing is like, again, it's being on that roller coaster and holding on, and you're like, the ride's gonna stop, I'm gonna reach the destination, I'm gonna reach the destination. It's really hard, and people say like, it's not the destination, it's the journey. I think that that's easy to say, and especially if you're going through things that are difficult, it's like you do really want to get to the destination, and of course you want to take time and be grateful and present and all of those things, but the way that our world is designed, we're not really present for a lot. We're always living for tomorrow. Now that's a whole other philosophy video, but basically my point of this video is to just document and to just say that if you are going through anything similar to this, if you're struggling, if you're on that roller coaster, if you're dreaming of that "this award means so much to me" moment, if you're dreaming of that day where you have your own apartment, or you have the dream job, or you have people interviewing you, or you have people loving your art, or whatever it is in your own unique way, keep going, keep fighting. It gets scary, we get lost in the fog, but we're on the right path, we're doing the right things. It's the best alternative. It's the best alternative that we have. And I can't lie and say that it's not scary and it's not painful and that it's not hard. I think that believing in yourself and being an authentic person is probably the hardest thing that I've ever done. At this moment, to show that I am fighting, that I'm still persevering, that I still get up every day and put the war paint on and get out there and fight for my dreams. It's not easy and it's scary, but I'm still doing it. You can do it too, and I believe in you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.